Hey everybody, today I decided to do something I haven't really done in the past. Is my top 10 favorite commonly used tools. You guys have seen me use different things in different videos, things I really like. I'll kind of talk about a little bit while I'm shooting them. But these are ones that I tend to see going into my hand a lot for certain jobs. I tried to keep a variety, so it's not all just hand tools, it's not all just certain jobs. But that's the big thing for me, certain jobs, certain tools work great, those ones I usually promote. But here's some tools I commonly find in my hand that work out really well. Starting with this, this is not actually my impact, but it is a 18 volt SnapOn Cordless Impact. This thing's got all the power you ever want, it's got a light on it. Love it. Thank God I have access to it. I use it often. Saves a lot of work taking off wheels and suspension components and many other things along the way. Next up, I find in my hand is very common. This is right angle, long handled set of pliers. These happen to be by SnapOn. I bought some snap ring pliers and this came with that particular eBay buy at the time. But I find these handy for taking off hose clamps, taking off hoses, getting around behind something, prying on it. I use them, I don't know, I'll bet you I use them half a dozen times a day when I have the reason to, especially on small engine work. Not so much in my day job, but I do have a pair there that I use. Next up, these are called nut busters. They're by Channel Lock. As you can see, the jaws look a bit, sometimes they call them a parrot jaw, they look kind of like a parrot. The idea of these is when they clamp on something and you put turning force on it, it'll bite harder and harder as you turn on it. And I've used this to break loose various nuts and bolts along the way. Turn pipes. Works better than a pipe wrench in a lot of situations. I really need to get the bigger version of this. This is the small one. Someday I'll buy it. I just haven't taken the time to do it. But absolutely love that thing. I use it a lot. Well worth the money. Next up is my SnapOn ratcheting screwdriver. This one is the 1/4 inch drive head version. They also make a ratcheting bit driver, which I do use, but I find myself coming to this one more often. I actually have two of these. This is the hard handle one and the soft handle ones at work. But I use the heck out of that in my small engine work and even at work for like doing hose clamps and the like. So you don't have to buy a SnapOn one. I kind of prefer the feel of them. They seem to work fine. You can buy them just about anywhere, but getting the 1/4 inch driver end as a ratchet, it seems to be the trick sometimes. I usually see the common bit drivers instead of a socket driver, so that's the one I like the most and the one I find myself going to a lot. Can't work without a pocket flashlight. You guys have probably seen me use this, and I did a couple videos on them. I prefer the Stylus Pro. Not that there aren't other options, but it is by far the best one for me. I carry it with me everywhere I go. Ratcheting wrenches. I'm counting as this one tool. Just two different varieties of the same tool. I prefer the kind that do not have a reversed selector on them, because that seems to either get in the way or get bumped. I just use the standard style. Yeah, I know it has some disadvantages, as many people might point out, but if you're smart and you know where you're using it, and you're not using it in really bad spots, or excuse me, I should say you should have the forethought in certain areas to break it loose, ratchet out of the ways, get this out of the way, turn it around, finish with the open end. You're great. I also have the flex head version of these. I do not have the locking flex. I have tried locking flex and never had much luck with them, but these seem to do great. Next up, pocket magnet, extendable. Yeah, extend it all the ways anyway. That I seem to be reaching for more and more as time goes by. Either I'm getting older and smarter, or I'm getting older and lazier. I vote for the latter. I think I'm getting lazier. I find myself dropping things at work now and again. I go grab one of these. If I can manage to grab it and pull it up, great. Otherwise, I use it to snag it from under the truck, drag it closer to me so I don't have to go all the way under the truck. And along with that goes grabber tool. Same purpose. Grabbing a stuck thing that you dropped, or nut, bolt, socket, screwdriver, you name it. Get yourself one of them. I use these all the time. Not so much because I'm always dropping stuff, but because it's easier to grab stuff with this when you do. One of my next favorite tools for electrical work is, many will say, a multimeter, or DVOM, which is digital volt ohm meter. I happen to have a Napa version here. I think it was $100 some. I don't know, I ended up with like a half a dozen different meters because I got like big into them for a short while trying to get a nice one. So this is my nice one. I keep a Nico brand at work. Works fine. It's just not auto ranging like this one. Like I say, this is kind of the nice one. But you can't do a lot of work without a DVOM anymore these days when it comes to checking charging systems, checking battery voltage, checking to see if something has power. You can't beat it. You got to have it for a lot of things. Next on my list is my breaker bars. I grabbed two of the common ones that I use. The long-handled SK here that I have made another video on of some new tools I owned, which these are very awesome, by the way. I have used this quite a bit since I bought it for breaking stuff loose. I use it on suspension work. I did some ball joints not too long ago that I brought it with me. I took it to school. I had to use it a couple times. I also have a 2-foot Snap-on bar that I use more regularly than the longer one. I guess I've had a little longer. Commonly I use it for doing serpentine belt work and breaking lug nuts loose. And then there's one tool here missing that I do not have that I would like to show you, but I have it at work. My other one's not here right now. But I have a screw gun, not a drill. This is a regular drill. I actually have a 1/4-inch DeWalt Impact that I use at work all the time, and that would be sitting right here because I go to that every day. Every day it gets used, and I absolutely love that thing. Like I say, I had another one here at home, but it's not here right now. Maybe I'll show you guys the video on it some other time. But absolutely love that thing. Get yourself a Cordless Impact screwdriver. The 1/4-inch variety I find great for running down screws at work. I use it to take covers off. You can use it to put screws in the wood like it was mainly designed for. You can run nuts and bolts down with it and tighten them up. It is just absolutely freaking handy. I'll take that over a screwdriver any day if I have the ability to use it somewhere. And I even bought a pretty extensive bit kit from Irwin when I at work. I'm going to have to buy another one for home here because I just love that thing. Just absolutely awesome. So that's it. Let's see how many tools did I drag out. I'm going to count a couple of them as one because it was a pair. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the wrenches, 6 with the bars, 7 with the multimeter, 8 with the light, 9 with the grabber and magnet, and 10 with my missing impact. So I guess this is a top 10 video after all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions on where to find any particular items, or if you want to see other videos, please give me a shout and I will do the best I can. Please subscribe and hit like. Thank you very much.